Hey guys, so today I am coloring in a drawing of Gorou from Genshin Impact. It's a new character. Turns out he is a Shiba Inu due to his ears and tails. However, me and my friend thought originally he was a cat because his fluffy tail, but turns out they made him a Shiba Inu. I guess it makes sense because Inazuma, the hometown which he comes from and also where Kazuha comes from, is actually based off of Japan, while Liyue is kind of based off of China and Mondstadt is based off of Germany, so those are the countries they went with. I think Snezhnaya is more of a Russian-like not company, but country, so yeah. But anyways, it makes sense that they went for Shiba Inu rather than cat. However, his tail is so fluffy, so I have to admit, he kind of does look like a cat. I'm still waiting for when he comes out. I don't know when, by the time you guys see this video, if he'll be out or not. He might be. There's a couple banners coming out and we're just waiting for all the releases and stuff like that. I really need to save all my primo gems so that way I can pull for certain characters. So yeah, they're also going to bring back certain characters like Shao, I believe, and Albedo. So hopefully I get those two because I really want those. But yeah. So I went for the skin color first, just coloring it in. Gorou is a very short character, but he is actually a general in Inazuma. He helps run the rebellion against, I believe her name is Ball. She's kind of this archon which is known as a god, and they come from Celestia and stuff like that. But she turned bitter over time. I think in the new trailers they showed that Ball lost her friends, so she's like super upset. So she kind of turned bad over time and stuff like that. Gorou has these markings on the bottom of his eyes. They kind of look like makeup. I'm not entirely sure what they are, but it's like this red wine to pink color, so I added that in. And his eyes are also blue. Very pretty. Yeah. His hair is like this ginger brownish color. It's not really like a tan color you would go for when you're thinking about like Shiba Inu colors, but I guess he's not like the lighter color. And yeah, he has these two white highlights on both sides of his hair and then on his actual bangs in front. If you can call them bangs, it's really just like a thick tuft of hair. The left side is actually white, highlighted white, as for like the right side is his natural. I think all their hair is natural, to be honest. It's just fantasy, so let's be honest. But yeah, the right side of his hair is more so just his regular brown color, so yeah. And now I'm just coloring it in. Gorou is apparently a Geo character who actually wields a bow and arrow, which is pretty interesting because I've never seen any Geo characters wield bows and arrows, so this will be the first time seeing that. Most Geo characters, they just like have giant rocks or pillars shoot from the sky. I want to say Master Zonli, he uses giant pillars from the sky. Albedo, he is also Geo, but he kind of just summons this giant flower-like rock, and it just like comes out of nowhere. So yeah, you can see like they don't really use like that many weapons. Like I think Master Zonli uses like a spear. As for Albedo, he uses I think he uses a sword. I'm not sure because I don't have him, so I'm not really sure about that. And I haven't seen gameplay of him, so that's something I should look up. But yeah, basically, they normally use their weapons and then they summon these big things, but normally they have like these bigger weapons that are like spears and swords are normally like larger weapons. So seeing someone use a bow and arrow but at the same time be a like geo wielder, that's gonna be interesting, honestly. Like a bow and arrow wielder, not geo wielder. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So I colored in all the red parts and now I'm coloring in all the gold parts. I'm just doing it based off of color just because it's easier to remember and make sure that I'm coloring everything that needs to be that color. And he actually has these ribbon-like details, but when you look closely at references, like even in the game, they kind of look like they're made out of like some sort of rope material rather than just like some sort of soft fabric. So that's a really cool design that he has. A lot of the red parts too. He also has these paw print symbols on his shirt. I want to call it a shirt, but it looks more like a crop top, and honestly, it's super short. The thing is, he also has like this window in his clothing, just a gap that's on his chest area. I feel like, I don't know, if you're not really someone who's into like more revealing cosplays, Gorou might be difficult for some women to cosplay just because it's like just showing everything basically. But yeah, I did order a Kaya cosplay. I'm still waiting, but honestly, that one too is a bit risky in terms of like he shows a lot of his chest too, so I'm gonna try to come up with an idea to, because normally I don't like showing off too much when cosplaying, so I'm gonna try to make it more conservative somehow. But yeah, so I am coloring in his arm piece, which is kind of like this wine red color. So I'm coloring that in. And I believe I finished all the gold pieces already. So for the black pieces, there was a couple things that really was like tedious. First off, there is the fact that some pieces next to each other are outlined and they are seen as different pieces, but they're like right next to each other. So what I ended up doing to make it easier for me to notice when I'm outlining afterwards, like after coloring, I decided to go with black for some parts, and then the other parts I was going with a dark gray that was like, I guess to the human eye you would just think that it's black color, but honestly it's a dark gray. So I use this method a couple of times so that way I know what I'm outlining. So if there's something that needs to be outlined but it's right next to something that's the same color, especially for black, it's kind of difficult. I decided to do this other colors. I just don't really bother. I just deal with it and I just look at references, make sure I'm outlining where it is. But for black, I can kind of play around with the different shades of gray and hopefully, like, remember to outline everything that needs to be outlined. It's basically some black parts are sectioned off as different pieces while they're next to other black parts. So that's kind of a struggle that I've noticed. But yeah. Honestly, I would love to cosplay Gorou, but it's one of those things where it's like, should I try even? So yeah, I'm not too sure yet if I would ever do that if a cosplay comes out in one of the cosplay companies that I usually go to. So yeah, I'll see. The paw prints on his clothing were a bit difficult to do just because they're very tiny and it was super like tiny details, and I found it difficult, but I managed to get it in without like smudging the black all over the gold part that I already colored. So yeah, it worked out pretty good. To be honest, drawing Gorou did not take as long as some other characters. I feel like Kaya took pretty long. What else? I also think I'm getting the hang of drawing drawing Genshin characters in terms of detail wise. Like, I'm looking at the detail step by step and just going from there. Like, the trick is to go piece by piece and not just be like, okay, where do I start? There's so much detail. I know it's like overwhelming sometimes when you draw certain things, but normally I just go piece by piece. Start off with the body, the head, and then the clothing. I do different sections. So I'll do the chest first, maybe like the shirt, and then I'll go for the sleeves and stuff like that. If it's armor, I'll do them like block by block. So if there's like, I'll give Gorou as an example. Say for example, he has his left arm has like these gold pieces that are supposed to be sticking out of this black piece for his shoulder pad. What I'll do is I'll map out everything first, and then I'll start adding like the other details and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe I should make a video on like my steps, but honestly, I might do that if anyone requests it, but honestly for now, I've been so busy to the point where I haven't made that many videos when I wanted to. Because what happens is I work full time, so at least 5 days a week I'll go to work, but I have like 9 to 10 hour shifts. So I'll come back and I'll be tired, but I'll play Genshin Impact with my friends. I don't stay up super late. It's normally like 10-ish to 12, and that's it. I normally don't go past 12, but literally what happened was I went on Genshin Impact the other day, and I was playing with my friends. I feel like I dozed off at 11 or 11:30. I woke up at like 12 something, and everyone was just gone. Because, you can join. How it works is you can join each other's worlds. So I was joining my friend's world, and then turns out I was alone by the end of it, because you can also kick people out of your world if you're leaving. So yeah, so I think he left the game and it kicked me out automatically. So I woke up and I was alone. There was one windy boy with me, which is basically what we call Kazuha, because he uses animal powers, which is wind. So that was the only person with me, honestly. But yeah. Basically, my character was just waiting for me to turn off my game. So yeah, I guess I get tired easily, so I do apologize. Like, if my content is slowing down, I'm trying to post three days a week, but honestly sometimes I skip one day just because I didn't make enough videos for that. So yeah, I'm still like getting on with it. I am also shading in the white parts for Gorou. He has these pom-poms, so one on his left side, he has a tiny pom-pom, and then on the right side, next to his hip, it's like this bigger pom-pom. So yeah, for his ears, they're pink, and then I colored in the rest, including his tail. They're the same brown as his hair, so I ended up doing that. So now I am coloring his tail. I made it super fluffy because that's how it is in the game. I don't know, like, I keep thinking he looks more like a cat, but maybe that's just me and my friend. But yeah, I think it's more so his tail, because Shiba Inus, they do have fluffy tails, but they're like just curled up most of the time, while his is more like just, I don't know, it's wavy like a cattail. So yeah. And I'm shading it in because I want it to look as fluffy as possible. So now I'm outlining the drawing. That's basically it. For the white parts, I decided to outline next to them so that way it looks like they're above different pieces of the hair, like his bang area is above like the hair that's behind it. So yeah. But I've been trying to keep up with my video making, so hopefully I keep doing that because I'm normally really tired throughout the whole week, honestly. Like, I want to, like, sometimes I want to do something, but then I'll get home, like, pretty late than when I think it will. And also, like, I need to eat. So that becomes an issue too when it's like, okay, I need, like, half an hour to an hour to eat. And then I need to, and then I want to go play the games as well. But normally I prefer to make my videos just in the daytime in general, just because normally I'm more awake and also like I feel like doing stuff. By the time it hits nighttime, it's like time for bed because I've been up for the whole day. I wake up at like 6 a.m. in the morning basically every morning, so it's kind of exhausting. So I'm just outlining all the gold pieces as well that's overlapping each other, all the black pieces. He has so much going on. Honestly, I love his clothing, but it's not a practical thing. Then again, it is like an anime Chinese style type of game, so it's not going to be very practical when it comes to clothing. So yeah. But I do like his color palette. He has blue and stuff like that. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check down in my description box below. All my social media is there. I'll post pictures and process work. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!